Top of the morning, evening, night, or day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone. Tá quieta, caralho. This is me here today on behalf of Well Prepared Man. I hope everyone's well and good. In today's video, I am particularly excited because it's finally hat season, and yeah, that's exciting. Roll the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain, and the following video is for subscribed devices only.
Anyway, guys, welcome. I hope you've taken the time to subscribe. If y'all had subscribed, I could be making money from this by now. Anyway, in today's My Bike Collection video, we're going to be talking about the last bicycle that is a part of this mini Portuguese collection. I've actually got another one which I'll discuss at a later date, but I still have to assemble it. It's in parts in my garage. I'm just gonna show you guys this bike and another bike, and afterwards I'm gonna put a break on this series because I got some bicycles I need to fix, and if I'm out here making videos about bicycles, I'm not 100% focused on my bicycles. I'm gonna put a break on this, probably give you some guitar lessons in the meantime. And guys, we're talking about another Portuguese bicycle like we have been for the last two videos, but this one is a completely different style. If you like going fast and you like riding bicycles in a more aggressive position, this is gonna be definitely right up your alley. So stick with me up until the very end because you're gonna enjoy this. In the meantime, this bike's already outside, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. And here she is, ladies and gentlemen. This is Esmaltina. You can see the name here. This bicycle was produced in Portugal during the 1980s, I believe. And when I first got this bicycle, it was fully covered in tape. So I basically did some work here already in order to bring out a little bit of its former glory. Anyway, I picked up this bike for 30 euros, I believe. Maybe 40. I'm not entirely sure. It was either 30 or 40 euros. I want to state that as cheap and cheerful as this bike was, this isn't the cheapest bicycle in my collection. The cheapest bike in my collection cost me 10 euros, and it's a Phoenix bike from the 1980s, 1990s. That bicycle is stored like 300 kilometers away from me. We'll discuss it here in the channel at some point once I get it up and running. Don't worry. I'll be alive for a while. This is a bicycle that I wasn't really a big fan of. Not this particular bicycle, but these style of bicycles. You're sat like this, you see. I never liked that very much because I'm a big guy. I never felt like these bicycles were made for big people. So riding them in that position was really painful for me. That was until I found this bicycle. This was the first bicycle that I thought, in terms of size, was more or less built for big people. It's got 28-inch wheels, which means that it's a little bit bigger than the previous racing bikes I've encountered. It's just overall a very simple, cheerful, and it's a pleasure to ride this bicycle. This bicycle changed my view on racing bikes, and at least the vintage ones, I feel like some of them are actually quite cool. I'm not too much into modern bicycles of any kind, whether they're racing, cruisers. It's not really my thing. I like the old ones. And I feel like this bike opened new doors when it comes to my appreciation for bicycles in general, because I was mainly collecting cruisers, and this opened up more possibilities in my mind. I don't think I would get any other racing bikes, but just having the appreciation for it, I think it's a big part of growing up and becoming more wise as a collector, if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm gonna give you some close-ups on this bike, and we're gonna cover some of the things that makes this an awesome bicycle in detail, because I think this bike deserves it. It really changed my appreciation of a few things when it comes to the cycling world. Okay, so this bike has got some really cool handlebars, as you can see. These are very odd. They normally have a more modern styling to them, and this was something that made me really attracted to this bike as soon as I saw it. Now, the bike was entirely covered in this type of tape when I got it, but because these bikes are older, I essentially took everything off to make sure that the frame was in good condition. And it actually is. As you can see, I've been getting rid of some rust here, but I tried to keep the bike as original as possible because I really dig this look. Like, look at this bike. You don't expect it to be fast, but it's really fast. One of the coolest things about this bike is how light it is. Check this out. See? Super light and made in the 80s. Anyway, here in the front, we got really cool brakes, which was really weird for me at first to get the hand positioning. So the brakes were actually quite a handy feature to have so close to the bit where I have my hands. Like I said originally, it was weird at first because I was used to riding bicycles here, and doing this for me wasn't a natural motion, but my body got used to it, and I think so will anyone else's. The bike has these really cool plastic covers, which I really like. I think they look very vintage, and it's a nice touch. Having access to the brakes so easily and quickly was really nice, because I do end up going faster than I normally go on other bicycles when I'm riding this. So essentially, I'm riding this bike like this. This was really weird for me at first, but once I got the hang of it, it was actually really nice and effective. Here in the front, we've got the logo of the bike. I don't really know what e-cycle stands for. It probably stands for Esmaltina Cycles, but I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that. What you can quote me on is that this was one of the first e-cycles in our history, but it's not electric. Do you get the joke? I thought it was good. It could be for Esmaltina Cycle, I'm not entirely sure. So if you do know that information, feel free to drop it in the comments. Anyway, something that I really enjoy about this bike is its simplicity with more complex items. What do I mean by this? When it comes to gears, this bike has got a derailleur, which is something that I don't really like, because up until now, my experience with derailleurs has been that they require more maintenance than inner hub gears, and they're kind of sloppy. Like, they pick up dirt and they become less efficient as you ride, and the gear change just feels really long, and I don't like the derailleurs. They just make my riding experience more complicated than it needs to be. So I've always gone for 1-gear bikes or 3-speed internal hubs. But I gotta tell you, shifting gears with this derailleur has been a pleasure. I can't really compare this system of gears with any other bike that I have. But essentially, you pull the lever, right? And you find the gear as you're riding. And as soon as you find it, the bike just clicks into gear. It's really fast. So this kind of made me think, have I been riding low quality derailleurs and this is the shit? Or is this just an exception to the rule? Because there are exceptions to the rule. I don't assume I don't like anything until I've tried everything, you know what I mean? But up until this point, I haven't been a big fan of derailleurs, and this derailleur really changed my opinion on the topic, because the gear change is really smooth. As soon as I find the gear, like I said, boom, it's in gear. This bike has got racing tires, as you can see, and like I've mentioned previously, they're 28-inch wheels, and this bike really likes flat surfaces. She does not like going over holes. The more I can avoid that, the longer the bike will last, because you got really thin tires, so they're built to go on the flattest surfaces you can find. And going over holes could actually damage the wheel in a way that you have a bent wheel, which is not good for any bicycle. But more common, than we think. Anyway, here she is. Esmaltina, a beautiful bicycle made in the 80s. What I really like about this bike is its simplicity, and also, when I'm riding it, how aggressive it feels. It feels like I can ride the bike. How can I explain this? I'm able to push my human capacity to the limit, and the bike is still able to go a little bit further, which just forces me to grow and try and go just a little bit faster and faster and faster. Obviously, always in safe places, guys. I do 24 kilometers every day by bicycle. I don't always choose this bicycle, I tend to swap depending on my mood. But when I'm going in a way which I'm pushing myself, it's only when I'm not in a road with cars. When I'm with cars, I try to pay as much attention as I can to my environment and my surroundings so I can avoid being ran over. Because I've actually been ran over like 3 times at this point of my life, and only once was I riding a bicycle. Well, the first time I was riding a motorcycle, the second time I was riding a skateboard, and the third time I was riding a bicycle. So I can't advise my audience enough to do your crazy things in controlled environments, and when you're out there with the rest of us, try and remain as aware as possible. You're 6 and you're 12, and essentially you're just keeping everybody safe while keeping yourself safe. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much brings us to the very end of this walk around here with Esmaltina. I feel like when it comes to racing bicycles, I probably was waiting for this bicycle in order to start appreciating them. Because up until this point, I never really liked these bicycles. The sitting position was awkward. I've probably said this 1,000 times by this point of the video. But I did not roll with these bicycles at all until I got this bicycle. So definitely a game changer. Happy to have it here on the channel. And I hope you guys enjoyed having a quick look at it, because it's different, but it's beautiful nevertheless. It's a different kind of beauty. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for sticking with me up until the end. I hope you have enjoyed chilling here with me a little bit today, and that you learned something new when it comes to the bicycle world. In the meantime, I'm gonna love you and leave you to have a rest of an amazing day. This is your boy logging out. Peace.